I welcome you to this lesson once again. I'm teacher Katimbo Richard, teaching mathematics. Primary 5. Today I've come with a summary of fractions, named fraction summary, and we shall find that on page 48 all the way to 50 of our workbook term 2. So we did the fractions in our notes. Now we are summarizing the very fractions. Ensure you follow, and then you answer those of that summary on page 59 all the way. Sorry, on page 48 all the way to 50 of our workbook. Primary 5. And now first number on summary tells us to expand 7.32 using values. Expand 7.32 using values. Is when people mix up the idea of finding values and use of values to expand. Those two vary. They are different totally. If you are finding the value, remember we said value equals digit times this place value. Now, this number tells us to expand 7.32 using values. This number assumes you know how to find the values and that you have them now. You use them to expand. So, here you simply say 7.32 equals 7 plus 0.3 plus 0.02. Those are the values used. So they assume you know how to find them and you found them, now put them to use. So application of the values now. On paper, you know the value of 7 now, you know the value of 3 and know that of 2. Now put them to use, meaning use them in terms of expansion. You say 7.32 equals 7 plus 0.3 plus 0.02, and that's all. As you go to example number 2, show 6.08 on the abacus. You say the abacus is also known as a counting frame. The abacus is also known as a counting frame. Now, drawing the abacus depends on the base in which the question is set. Now that we are in P5, we are subject to other bases. So now look at the number. It is 6.08, and which 6.08 doesn't have any base written on. And say any number without a base goes normal. And the normal base within which we learn counting is base 10. Therefore, this is a base 10 numeral. So you think about place values of base 10. So that 6 is under ones, 0 is under tens. That's half the point. This is 8 and hundredth. So the counting frame or the abacus must have the place values of particular base given, and must have a digit per bar, and must have sitting bits, which you must observe. So put the place values there. So 6 is under ones, then go after point, up 10, then 100. Then write 6.08, and now put in the bits. So we go, let them sit. So the first one, down here, sits there. Then the next, sit on. Another one, another one, another one, another one. Let them be connected. And there must be as many as 8. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for that, you have done it well. Here, 0 bead, meaning don't put any. Here, put 6 in the same form. Sitting beads, and ensure there are 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a fully fledged abacus and drawn properly without any of the properties missing. As we look at the third example today, says work out 2.5 minus 4.4 plus 6.5. Fraction summary it is. We've got a minus and a plus sign of addition here. So meaning we've got two operations of subtraction and addition in one number. In that way, we are confused on what to start with. That confusion is all wiped away when you think about body mass. Bring body mass to help you know what to start with of the two, subtraction and addition. Now, you start identifying. B means in brackets, we don't have brackets. Of, don't have of. Division, don't have division. Multiplication, don't have multiplication, but we have addition. Ask yourself what's to be added. What bears a plus sign of addition is the one you add. So 6.5 is the one that's going to be added. So write 2.5 plus 6.5, then later you are going to subtract. Now you add and then subtract 4.4. In that way, you add these two first. The minus comes last. So subtraction comes last because body mass order. So then we go 2.5 plus 6.5. Where 5 plus 5 is 10, right? 0, look 1. Then 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 6 is 9. So the addition has given rise to 9.0. Now get 9.0 minus 4.4, which had a minus. Still, write 9.0 minus 4.4. Put the equal sign here. Again, subtract 0 and 4. Borrow, because you must. Borrow 110, because base 10. And remain with 8. 10 plus 0 get 10. Now 10 minus 4 you get 6. 8 minus 4 you get 4. So the answer is 4.6 finally. All in all, it's knowledge of use of body mass here, where subtraction comes last. And this is the only situation I told you where you apply body mass and then do change the order. Others you apply body mass but don't change the order. A situation where the minus sign of subtraction operation leads the addition, please, you change the order and the minus comes last. So the number that's preceded or which has got a minus before it is the one that comes last. You add the other ones and then subtract the one with the minus. And that is all about that number. Then the example number 4, write 4 times 1 plus 5 times a tenth plus 7 times a hundredth as a single numero. So you start working out, you rewrite 4 times 1 plus 4 times a tenth plus 7 times a hundredth. Now start evaluating. 4 times 1 is a 4, 5 times 1 is a 5 out of 10. 7 times 1 is a 7 out of 100. And now, get a decimal, that means 5 tenths. 5 out of 10, if I've got 1 0 here, it means we shall have only 1 digit after point. So, 5 out of 10 means 0.5. Then 7 out of 100. We've got 2 zeros, meaning we've got to have 2 decimal digits. 2 digits after point. So that 7 out of 100 means 0.07. So now you add. Remember, 4 is a whole number. So 4, it being a whole number, must be on the left hand side of the decimals. So that's 4 point nothing. That's 4.00 plus 0.5. This 0 doesn't change the meaning. So 0.50 is the same as 0.5, then plus 0.07. So these zeros came because of the 7 extending to the hundredth place value. So we add those zeros there. Remember 4 to be on the whole number section. Don't write it as 0.4. And then add to get a single numerals, the same as what number has been expanded. So go in the corresponding place values and add accordingly. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 7, you get a 7. 0 plus 5 plus 0, you get a 5. 4 plus 0 plus 0, you get a 4. Remember there's a point in between here. You say therefore 4.57 has been expanded. This is a single numero that has been given rise to by this or expanded number using place values. So 4.57 has been expanded to give that whole lot. So that's how we answer that question. Which when answered, no one will ask you for any other thing, but only giving you all the marks for that particular number. As we look at example number 5 today, write 2/5 or 2 out of 5 as a decimal. Remember, decimal is a number like this, or a number that bears a point. So that number that contains a point is a decimal, or a decimal fraction, if you want it that way. So remember, 2 out of 5, this out of means divide by. So 2 out of 5 means 2 divided by 5. So we divide 2 by 5. Divide 2 by 5. We are using the MSP. Remember, divide, multiply, subtract, pull down. Follow that order for any long division. Divide, multiply, subtract, pull down. Now we are dividing first 2 by 5. We have got 2 oranges divided by 5. My friend, we have got 5 people to get the 2 oranges. No one will get a whole really, because we first of all don't want to first cut it. 2 mangoes or oranges divided by 5 people, no one gets a whole. So because there are no time, because 0 times. So 2 divided by 5 is a 0. Now we are going to multiply. 5 times 0, you get a 0. We are going to subtract. 2 minus 0, you get a 2. We are going to pull down. So we do not find anything, put a point and add a 0 here. So pull down that nothing, called 0. The 0 put near 2 makes a 20. Now, we'll pull down, then we'll go back to the procedure of division. Divide 20 by 5, you get 4. Multiply 5 by 4, you get 20. Subtract 20 and 20, you get 0. So when you get nothing here, like the zeros are here, you just know you are fully long divided. So the outcome is the answer, 0.4. So 2/5 as a decimal is 0.4. And please, you follow that. DMSP order, divide, multiply, subtract, pull down. And you will be able to change any given fraction to a decimal. As we look at example number 6 for today, which reads, a patient was told by the doctor to take 0.56 mils of the medicine in the morning and 6.82 mils in the evening, or milliliters in the evening. Then the question is, how many milliliters did the patient take that day? That's morning and evening combined. You are going to add then 0.56 milliliters plus 6.82 milliliters. So you add 6 plus 2, you get 8. 5 plus 8, you get 13, write 3, group 1. 1 plus 0 plus 6, you get 7. So that patient took 7.38 milliliters that day. As we look at example number 7 today, and so does it read. Find the value of 6 in the figure, 95.68. 95.68. So the question is value. Value is got by multiplying a digit by its place value. So the digit in question is 6. Therefore, we have to know the place values. Write 95.68. Locate the place values. 5 is under 1s, 9 is under 10s, 6 is under 10s, 8 is under 100s. Then we multiply that 6 by its place value 10s. A tenth is 1 out of 10, or 0.1, according to your wish. So here, we multiply 6 by 1 out of 10. 6 times a tenth. So then you say 6 times 1, you get a 6 out of 10. So 6 out of 10 as a decimal is 0.6. And therefore 0.6 is the value of 6 in 95.68. Or 95.68 hundredths. If you read it in the normal way, then Another example is number 8. Arrange 0.2, 0.02, 2.2 and 2.02 in increasing order. Increasing order is also known as ascending order. To ascend is to go up or climb. So if you are to go up, it means you will come from the lower point to the higher point. So now, therefore, we are going to start with the least to the greatest, the smallest to the biggest. Now, we write them as they are: 0.2, 0.02, 2.2, 2.02, and then write them out of their corresponding denominators. So 0.2 has got one decimal less, so it's out of 10. 2 out of 10, comma, 1 2 decimal places is out of 100. That's 2 out of 100. Then 2.2 has got only 1. You write 22 out of 10. This one has got 2 decimal places. So to bring 202 out of 100. Now, the LCM for numbers like these denominators, or like these that have got such denominators, like any of the zeros is ever the greatest denominator. So we've got 10 and 100, so the greater of the two is 100. So LCM is 100. So multiply each of these combined fractions by 100. You say 2 out of 10 times 100. You work it out by 10 by 10. 2 times 10 you get 20. That is the 20 which has come for comparison. Then go 2 out of 100 times the LCM 100. You cancel by 10 by 10 by 10 by 10. 2 times 1 you get a 2. Then I've got 20 out of 10 also times 100. By 10 by 10, you have 22 times 10, which is 210. Actually 220. And then finally, we've got 202 out of 100 times 100 by 10 by 10 by 10 by 10. We've got 202 times 1, which is 202. Now, we have set the whole numbers for comparison. Remember, we have increasing order, which increasing order is the same as ascending. And to ascend means to climb, meaning from the lower point to the higher point. So start with the least. So among the whole numbers that have come out, 2 is the least, write first. So 2, comma. The next one is 20, write 20. The next one is 202. So it's the one that's come out. Then the greatest is 220. Now, which fraction brought 2? The fraction that brought 2 is 2 out of 100, write it under it. The fraction that brought 20 is 2 out of 10, write it under 20. Which fraction brought 202? That's 202 out of 100, write it. Then, which fraction brought 220? Look for 220 to 22 out of 10. Now, return these ones to a decimal. 2 out of 100 as a decimal 0.02. Rendering 0.02 to be the least or the smallest. So 0.02, comma. Then 2 out of 10 means 0.2 is the second. Then 202 out of 100 is the same as 2.02 is the third. And then the greatest in among the decimals listed is 2.2 from 20 out of 10. So this was called increasing order, also known as ascending order. So when we go the opposite of ascending, it will be descending. Descending is the same as reducing order. So if you are to be descending, you will start with 2.2, then 2.02, then 0.2, then you will end with 0.02. But now ascending order or increasing order, you do like we've done now. And that is the answer. Finally, we look at the last example today about our summary of fractions in our class P5. And so let's read. Using a number line, arrange 0.4, 0.6, 0.3, and 1.0 in this time descending order. To descend is to go down or reduce or go in lessening style. So we go backwards. So therefore we draw our number line. This time we label it in a decimal style, starting with 0 now. 0, here, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, and then 1.0. And now identify the same decimals. 0.4, go to 0.4, put a star. 0.6, put a star. 0.6, 0.3, put a star. And then 1.0, put a star. In that way, they will align themselves in the order they are talking about. That is descending order. Remember, to descend is to go down. So start with the greatest. So 1.0 is the greatest. Then go 0.6 for the stars. 0.4, 0.3 is the least. So answer 1.0, 0.6, 0.4, 0.3 is the descending order of that work. Therefore, you will then be able to answer all the questions from page 48 all the way to page 50 of our workbook, P5. That is the summary of fractions. Teacher Katimbo Richard, and you will reach me in case you need another extra assistance on on this number 0776251655. I repeat, 0776251655. You can as well use the Airtel line 07572 33066. I repeat, 07572 33066. Otherwise, that's the end of the lesson. Stay safe.